Denied 3 times. Tried 3 times. Spoke up for himself 3 times. 33 years in the flesh he lived. Purified. The tree at which deception met seduction, seduction met Eve. God hung up as the king on the tree, diminished of strength. I am he, the great I am, in the flesh. By my stripes and wounds, your flesh remains fresh. By the 6th hour I rest. Death has been defeated. My task in 33 years completed. The Trinity was divided for such a purpose, so that Satan hath no dominion. And I by my Father will be seated. In the test of standing by prophecy, yet I represented my Father properly. I told him to remember me. For such a love has set those captive free. Death is but a moment. Resurrection in my blood is the eternal covenant. For those who cry for my presence, I comfort. Without effort, I love. Without senses, I feel. 3 words. It is finished.
In silence I begin my love proposal. My mission so colossal. Pontius is conscious. My innocence he sees, but won over by the Pharisees. Crucifixion, the verdict and the conviction I get from my creation, listening to Lucifer. They scream, crucify, yet all I see is the salvation of my bride from eternal damnation. Via Dolorosa, my isle as I step out of the vine. I am the vine, proposing to my bride, will you be mine? Love so intense I fall on my knees. Mother watches in tears and in awe of a groom taking back his bride. Once again, the enemy has lied. I author my love story as the Simon of Cyrene tastes the passion. On my knees I go for my bride. She weeps, blinded by artificial eyelashes to the sacrificial love, as I punctuate the Via Dolorosa with my unfailing love. Via Dolorosa, do you feel me getting closer to the final step of making you my bride? Salvation our firstborn, followed by grace. The outward stripping of my garments, the inward strengthening of my desire to pay the price for my bride. Your heart, the hidden thing that moves me, sin that grieves me. The nails tore my flesh, my passion tore the veil. As religion dies, I behold the beauty of my bride. Oh, Ecclesia, had you not been busier with the world, it would have been easier for you to see that Via Dolorosa, my paper, the cross, my pen, my blood, the ink. Every fall, a proposal for you to draw nigh, the cross, a true reflection of your worth. I know you did blunder. The tomb could not put us asunder. Free from the law you were once under. This is the song that I sang as I hung every limb, breath flung from my lung, for you to be mine with your heart and not tongue. All this I did to show you I am not interested in lip service from glossy lips, but heart deep service from costly spiritual lips. Paying a debt I did not owe for a people that owed a debt that they could not pay. This is the bride price, priceless. I slept in a womb I created to rise from the tomb. Listen, my death would have been in vain if your righteousness does not surpass that of the Pharisees. My face you'll never see.
And as he hung there was none that he could possibly condemn, for he had done this very act of love for every single one of them. And there it was. The spotless Son of God received beatings that he wasn't entitled to take. And there at his pierced hands was the whole world's salvation at stake. Feeling the cold rejection of man as his friends had failed, but still taking that wooden cross even though he had to be nailed. And that was Jesus Christ nailed to the cross. Embedded upon the cross was God's immortal body. Not the heaviness of the cross, but it was man's sins that made him sloppy. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, accused of being a fake copy. So he cried out in despair with his open cuts and dislocated guts, garments stripping, blood dripping, for all he had to give was him. Not only taking wrong, but everything that came along with sin. That was Jesus Christ nailed to the cross. And at the late hours, he had to struggle against the human heart that fails. The same hand that embraced the adulteress now being compressed with nails. So unfair. The punishment that we were supposed to receive was heaped on him instead. And now I ask, where was the 5,000 he had fed with bread?
If only they would believe me, if only they would care. If only they could see me, if only they would dare. I would readily save them. I would wipe away their cares. I would heal the brokenhearted. I can't take the pain away. Each breath hidden in my heart since the formation of creation. My own special people, my prized possession. I would wait for them 1,000 years and 1,000 more. I would die each day and I would die again. For I have loved them with an everlasting love. Pouring out my heart from generation to generation. I have called out to them with the voice of love. So now, I give myself, believing that this voice they will hear, and that this sacrifice will echo from this generation to the next. But Father, help me, for my strength fails me and my body feels numb. My feet fail to catch me and I'm thrust to the ground. Many stare, my life held in contempt. I'm an object of their disgust. They could not even be moved to care. So I'm thrown. I'm thrown in exchange for their place. The burden too heavy this cross to bear. Their endless sin and shame cast upon me. Their broken covenants with God. But I carry them in my heart. And I fall and die willingly for each and every soul, for they're all within my care. The road ahead of me is lonely and bare, with none to stand beside me, none to ease the pain. But I tarry on to Calvary. I tarry on to salvation. I tarry on so that they'll all be saved.
And behold, he came and went. And now I wait for him who in my absence suffered pain at my expense. He saw the presence of sin in my heart and bled till it was cleansed. I in him I live, him in me life I have. Hey, let me tell you about what he did for you and I. Denied and betrayed, traded for silver coins with a kiss. For you and I he tolerated to be arrested. Oh, how you and I are a treasure to him he loved without measure. Knowing it was unjust, just as he is, he paid the price for the unjust. Whipped with a gaunt lash, a crown of thorns enfolded around his head. Such persecution he took for you and I. Oh, how you and I are a treasure to him he loved without measure. Oh, how he loved undeserving. It's amazing. He was whipped till he was tired of being whipped. Just as he was tied up, he endured pain untold that when foretold it hurts. Bleeding bruised to lashing back pains, he carried the cross that was substantified with our weight of sins. Walked miles and miles while being wept for every time he crumbled and fell because of pain. Our pile of sin so heavy on his shoulder. His love grew stronger. His love so phenomenal. His love so phenomenal. Love so phenomenal.